some people didn't get the memo that most beaches were closed for the 4th of July holiday, especially the surfers out to ride bombing waves without crowds as the summer's largest south swell slammed the shore. Most beaches were clear of holiday revelers hoping to post up on the sand early Saturday. A hard closure was put in place by authorities for most of the Orange County and Los Angeles County coast to keep crowds away because of a spike in coronavirus cases in recent weeks. Police and lifeguards spent the morning shooing away people on the sand and calling surfers out of the water, but at the busiest surf spots including Malibu, Doheny State Beach, the Wedge in Newport Beach and a few other of California's prime surf locals, the rumble of the waves must have been too loud for them to hear authorities' warnings. A group of 5 surfers and bodyboarders sat waiting for waves just south of the Balboa Pier early Saturday while 3 police officers stood watching from the beach, after unsuccessfully beckoning them to come in. Lifeguards sat in their towers looking bored, with no beach crowds to watch over. A big crowd gathered early morning down the beach at the famous Wedge, lining the sand as 15-foot waves and even some 25-foot sets slammed the shore. Many people left after being kicked off by authorities, with a helicopter making announcements from the air. A handful of surfers and bodyboarders remained in the water through the morning, scoring a few building-size, foamy waves. Spectators reappeared throughout the morning to watch the surf show. At one point police officers had to start threatening arrests. Their warnings worked, with no one on the sand by noon but a lifeguard watching the water where only 2 or 3 bodysurfers bobbed waiting for waves. Dozens of surfers at Malibu and Topanga were catching epic rides with the season's best south swell, but elsewhere in Los Angeles County, including Manhattan Beach and Hermosa Beach Pier, were eerily empty. The same scene played out at some of Southern California's most popular beaches, including Bolsa, Chica and Huntington Beach, where large stretches of sand usually jam-packed with people looked more like a deserted desert. Chain-linked fences were wrapped around some stretches of coast and parking lots were closed. Police officers stood watching over the sand, stopping anyone trying to get to the water or wanting to hang out for a beach day. Billboard signs leading into beaches announced the closures. The scene is a stark difference to other 4th of July celebrations in the past, a day that is typically the busiest along the coastline, with umbrellas and beach towels wedged close to one another as people clamor for a spot on the sand. Some looking for prime spots or fire rings typically show up before sunrise to claim their piece of sandy real estate.